All right, in this video, I'm going to show you a better and more competitive way to pay your front desk so that it actually motivates them and that person actually wants to stick around so that you're able to maintain and retain your front desk staff. Now, here's exactly what you can learn, and I intend to teach you in this particular training. So, number one, I'm going to talk to you about why a flat hourly rate actually probably doesn't make a lot of sense for how you pay your front desk. And then I'm going to teach you the exact strategies that I'm using to teach our private clients that we work with and what I'm using in my cash-based physical therapy practice. And then lastly, I'm going to talk to you exactly about how to create a competitive pay structure that actually motivates and benefits both you and your front desk, your new front desk employee. So by the end of this, you're going to know how to craft a competitive pay structure, how to retain your front desk staff a little bit better in 2025 and beyond. So a lot of people, the most common thing they want to do with this is they want to have a flat hourly rate to pay their front desk. And they say, 17 to $20 an hour, depending on what part of the country you're in, is the going rate for front desk. And this is what I intend to pay them. And you continue to work down that kind of archaic path and thinking process for your front desk. Now, there are some situations where at the front desk, I do think that that makes some sense, right? You got somebody in the back office, or maybe they're just working on customer experience, or maybe they're just working 15, 20 hours a week to just complete some task for you that you need completed. We have front desk staff, and even in our digital business here, we do that exact type of stuff where, hey, I just need a flat hour rate to get things done, and that's all I need. But the big mistake a lot of you make is you try to take that pay structure to the front desk that is actually responsible for following up with all of your new leads and actually getting new patients in the door. And a flat hourly rate just simply doesn't make a lot of sense for what is actually kind of a sales role, right? And a lot of practice owners I talk to, they say, well, yeah, this is a sales job, especially if you're a cash or hybrid practice, but you pay on an hourly basis. And there's no sales job anywhere that anyone's paying just a flat hourly rate. And so what happens is your front desk gets busy, they get bogged down with maybe some of the other tasks that you have them doing, or with all the leads that you have coming in, and they're not actually motivated or they're not incentivized to want to be able to actually get more patients in the door. And so they're focusing on the wrong thing for lead generation, lead follow-up, lead nurturing. And when they're following the wrong thing, now my schedule isn't as busy as I need it to be. And so what intended to have this person following up with leads and getting things in, now my schedule's not as full as it needed to be. And this is especially true for a lot of practice owners that are maybe relatively new and you're adding maybe a front desk for the first time, and maybe you're not busy enough to have somebody there, quote unquote, 40 hours a week. And so you'll make the mistake of paying somebody, well, I kind of need them from like, 10 to 12, a couple days. And then I need them from like 4 to 5 a couple days. And then now you have a lot of long gaps in your schedule to actually be able to follow up with leads. And so, what your intention was to actually get more leads in the door, you're actually missing a lot of opportunity because you're not actually, you don't have coverage that full time. And that's really where this hourly rate, especially, can become problematic. The other area or other time that I noticed this becoming an issue is folks lose front desk staff for $1 or $2 more all the time. Like it's frustrating and it makes no sense, especially to me as a business owner. I know it for you guys as well, where you get a front desk, they start crushing it, they're doing a good job for you, and they leave because they want to make $2 more an hour. And that's super frustrating. Like, you spend all this time and energy, and so now you run the rat race and you got this constant turnover game at the front desk, which is really frustrating. Versus when you do what I'm about to teach you, it helps incentivize them to actually want to be able to stick around. And so we want to make sure, especially the person that's in charge of lead nurturing, actually has some skin in the game for lead nurturing, right? And so this is where this hourly rate thing becomes a problem, right? We got gaps in my schedule. I've got somebody who's not motivated to actually follow up with leads. They're going to leave for $1 or two more an hour. Just all of these problems that really become challenging, when it comes to trying to retain staff. So the next big piece of this, and this is exactly what I teach all of our like private clients, and this is exactly what we do in our practice as well, is we actually teach for lead follow up and lead nurturing. We actually teach a commissions based pay. And it's a really unique thing that a lot of practices aren't doing, but I'm starting to see more and more folks switch over to this, especially some of the biggest and most successful cash-based or hybrid physical therapy practices where hey, I really want to get in, I really want to nurture leads, I really want to follow up with them and make sure that I'm driving these people to the clinic, especially if I'm running ads, Facebook, Google, any of these other number of type of ads. And this is where this can be so darn effective because now I'm teaching a commissions based pay. I'll pay them some type of flat rate to be available for the month. But then from there, I'm paying them some type of bonus structure for leads that they're actually converting and that actually show up in the door. And so now what happens is the ceiling for that front desk is now essentially limitless, right? Obviously, you got to have some type of caps or some type of constraints on it if you're in a big growth phase. But now that front desk has an unlimited potential to actually grow and increase their revenue. And it's directly related to the amount of effort that they put in for lead follow up. Now, obviously, you got to give them the tools and the steps to be able to do that and actually effectively nurture these people. But if they are doing that well, then they're going to be paid more. Or if you have more leads coming in the door, they're going to actually be even more motivated to want to follow up with those people because they know that that's potential revenue that they can recapture any given day and ultimately in a month. And it helps protect you as the practice owner in the event that things start to get a little bit slow for some reason, right? And so what I do is I sit down, I look at, the amount of leads that we have coming in, what is the estimated pay that I want to potentially pay this front desk kind of sales employee, if you will, and I try to create a comp package that fits that exact piece. And this is exactly what a lot of our clients are doing. They've found and seen a lot of success with it. I know we have as well. We're really motivated and made our admin even more hungry to be able to get these people in the door because that's the lifeblood of the practice. Nothing else matters at the front desk. I need at least 1 to 2 people, depending on how busy you are, actually following up, nurturing leads, and driving them to the clinic. And so the reason that this works so well is you're going to want to sit down, you're going to want to calculate this type of stuff, and ultimately it's going to lay out the benefits to both you and the front desk staff. And my favorite thing about it is like November, December, like leads are a little bit lighter, admin's on vacation a little bit more. It helps protect you, the practice owner, and the admin when things slow down or when things are really, really busy. You don't have to go out and make another hire, right? Which is what a lot of people do is as they grow, they freak out, their admin's, stuff's falling through the cracks and they think they need to hire somebody else. And then they hire somebody else, and now they've got 2 people doing the job that one person potentially could have done, and it's a really big rat race and a big problem. And so sit down, think about how you can structure this for your front desk person that's coming in. It's going to help you attract better quality talent as well, because now that ceiling is much higher than the $15 to $17 an hour. You're not going to have to hire the high school kid. You're not going to have to hire the college kid who's kind of half in, kind of half out. And now you're dealing with these big, large lapses in coverage. You can get 30, 40 hours worth of coverage but not have to pay that 30, 40, 50 hours of work week for somebody just to sit down and actually clock in, clock out. So super tactical, super short here. Great way to know how to kind of restructure your pay. This is what I see a lot of the industry moving over to, especially as practices drop more and more insurances. I really encourage you guys to consider doing this with your front desk. It's going to be a game changer. You're going to have better quality talent and you're going to be able to retain them a little bit longer, especially the person who's following up with lead generation, which is, in my opinion, one of the hardest things to teach and the hardest things to retain. And so switching over this model can be huge. So now you know how to pay them, you know how to attract that quality talent. Now, ultimately, you need to know how to be able to onboard them and actually train them appropriately. Take a look at some of the additional trainings on our channel, and we look forward to seeing you on the inside of that.